Namaste, Jai Bharat. Quite a few people must be thinking that, in spite of all the atrocities Bangladesh officially does against the Hindu population in Bangladesh, why is Bharat not intervening? Why is not Father Bharat doing anything? We say, we talk to them, but we don't do anything. It must be having its own very valid reason, so one can trust in the wisdom of the people who rule this nation. It must be having its own reason. But then, let's see. There's another story very well connected to this. That is, Burma used to have an area, the Arakhan state, once upon a time, which of course was captured by the other Burmese regime. Nonetheless, both with Buddhists, Burmese were 95% plus Buddhists to begin with, which of course there was a certain amount of missionary operations, missionary work, many conversions as they usually do, and the Islamization with the support of areas from outside Burma. Bangladesh is adjacent to Burma. Now, the Rakhine state, they had sizable amount of Muslims who were otherwise known as Rohingya Muslims. Now, it's this one thing with the radical Islam is that wherever radical Islam becomes active, they take the society, they make a U-turn with the society and take the society back in time, way back in time. This is precisely what happened in Pakistan. They were our own people, but now where do they stand, where do we stand? The only reason for Pakistan to go back is whatever the Pakistani people are trying to say is because of this Islamization and the element of radical Islam operating in Pakistan. That is the real reason. Now, what happened in Bangladesh? You see, Sheikh Hasina was doing a good job. The nation was progressing, but the Jamaat-e-Islami, the radical Islam, has destroyed everything and really taken Bangladesh back in time. The Arakhan state, I mentioned it because for a reason. The Arakhan state used to be Buddhist in the beginning, majority, but now the Buddhists in Arakhan state are roughly 60%. And Muslims, who are otherwise known as Rohingya Muslims, which is a term with which people are familiar, some 35%, 5% Christians, etc. And Rohingya Muslims, with the spoon feeding of radical Islam from outside, becomes aggressive, arrogant, started attacking the Buddhists. Normally, Buddhists are the most peaceful kind of people in the entire world. But the most kind of people, when you start triggering them beyond a point, can become very aggressive. Because all the martial arts were developed. Of course, martial art has its root in India. And then it is told that a thinker, someone like Bodhi Varman from the southern part of Bharat had gone to China, and he was created who was instrumental in creating this kung fu arts, etc. in China. The temples, the Shaolin temples, were his creation. And this is told. So the point is that Buddhists are normally a very peaceful people. They don't want aggression. They would take maximum aggression, but then beyond a point they will also become aggressive because it becomes a question of their existence and the existence of not the individuals, simply individuals themselves, but the existence of the entire society, which they have to fight. There's no way. So we see the Rohingyans becoming so aggressive and killing those Buddhist monks. The Arakhan people who were Arakhans created an Arakhan army. And now Arakhan army is very active. As of now, the Arakhan army was trying to push Rohingyans outside. And the Rohingyans could not stand. See, those who think with muscles, or those who think with knees, and those who think with the head are two classes of people. So they had to flee. As a result, you find the Rohingya refugees all over. They enter Bangladesh and they make their ways to West Bengal and then reach, even up to Jammu they have reached. Even up to Jammu they have reached. Of course, this government of Bharat will identify and should send them back in time as and when they get identified. So they started spreading Rohingya Muslims. They have gone all over the place just because of the Arakhan army. Now, Bharat's relation with the Arakhan army was something of a water and lily, primarily because we had very good relations with Bangladesh, with they being democracy, they as democrat. So we could not support or be emotionally with the Arakhan army beyond a point. We had to manage both. The Arakhan army, they are Buddhists, and Buddhists are basically origin of Bharat, and we know it, and we are conscious about it. We are sentimental towards it. This is all day. Even Burmese are also Buddhists. That sentiment still remains. But the Arakhan army, we won't be able to explicitly do anything because of our relations with Bangladesh. So it's a kind of a water and lily kind of relation. When the water flows, lily also comes up and then goes down. When the water goes down, etc. All these kinds of relations used to be there. But now, with Bangladesh getting radicalized, the Arakhan army is trying to push the Rohingyan people maximum into Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is worried about the border and what Bharat will do with Arakhan army. No prediction. Ideally, Bharat should support the Arakhan army, which of course, as I've told, the rule, they are wise enough to do what is necessary. If the deep state can play this way, that way, all over the world, this kind of politics also is possible. The Arakhan army needs support, means if we are able to give it, then Bangladesh is finished from outside without Bharat directly intervening. So all these possibilities are there, which will be adopted. What will be done, we don't know. But Bangladesh will have threat from all around. From all around. That is just because of their getting radicalized. Finally, as I began this talk, the radical Islam takes societies back in time through a very good U-turn, and how much back they go remains to be seen. Precisely, this is also happening in Bangladesh. Whatever may be the talks, whatever may be anyone saying, they are now very well back in time. To come back to the previous stage is going to take decades. And the more it goes like this, the more they are going backward. They are a very vulnerable society economically. And the society who had suffered maximum also, now radical Islam is going to make them suffer much more. Let's see what's the outcome. Arakhan army is trying their best to push these Rohingyans to Bangladesh, which is going to be a headache to them. We have to be careful because they will try to come themselves into Bharat. We have to be extremely careful. So all these complications are there with that. We really had to support Burma for another reason, that the tribes in northeast, they were made to quarrel one another with the nefarious intention of some of the deep state missionaries involved to destabilize northeast, to create kind of a different situation there. So where Burma's help we were in need of. So that area remains volatile. One side West Asia, another side this area also is getting hot. So let's meet with another video till then. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.